Aye. From GC to LA, I be getting to this money, ain't no dream I can't chase. I be stepping on the op like who wanna fade, my heart cold, even in the middle of May. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, oh my god, I hit a baddie in the DMs like, donde estás, you want beef? I'll give it out to some of my mama.
This is the Life in Boxing Show. I am Terrence.
Yeah, and this is Caesar, and we're here with a very special guest,
Julio Lanzas.
Julio, you mind telling everyone your plans? I know you've been saying that you wanted to do one more amateur fight, and that you want to go pro after. Is that still your plans, or do you have something else planned?
Yeah, that was the plan. I'm not sure if I still want to do that or if I just want to go pro. I know there's future pro fights coming up real close, so
yeah.
I'm just not sure if we're gonna look into that or look into going into one more amateur fight to get a little more experience.
Okay.
So I want to get in a little bit before that. So what made you start boxing?
I started coming here because of my brother. He moved in with us again, and I was a fat little old kid, and he was going to the gym one day. He said, "You want to come in?" I said, "Yeah," and we ended up here. I remember the first day I came in, went right in with Coach Terry and started sparring him. It was us, me and my brother against him, and then from there, fell in love.
Right. We've been trying to do this interview for a while, and we
Yes.
keep messing each other, but and we all just finished working out, so we're like, no, we got to do this regardless.
Yeah,
So,
got to get it in.
And I'm not gonna lie, I worked out some, but then I went to change, so I kind of feel bad for these guys. So it is what it is. so yeah. What age did you start at?
Around, I'd say about 10, 11.
10, 11 years old?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was around in 5th grade.
5th grade? Okay.
Yeah, around there.
So what do you want? What do you? Your love for boxing. What do you want to do with boxing? What do you
Just
want
like every
boxing to do for
boxer, plans to go pro, be world champion, go undefeated, but the main thing is be champion, be known, make a legacy.
you? Okay.
Nice. So obviously, as we all know here, your dad was a pro boxer. Do you think that's part of the reason you wanted to box, or was it just it came naturally when you were here at the gym?
I feel like it just came naturally once I really got into it, started working out day to day. But that and say my brother being a boxer, that just gave it more motivation because I knew I was gonna have the support and I knew I was gonna have a team for it.
Right.
It's just I wasn't gonna be winging it and being by myself.
Right. And the thing with brothers, like when my two kids, they're always competing. So it's like if one does 300 sit-ups, the other one wants to do 301.
Right.
Is that kind of how you guys were?
Most definitely. We have the mindset if you do it, I'll do it. So then one of us doesn't, we just can't back down. So we just start going, and then until one of us taps.
Right.
And it just keeps going.
That's funny.
Let me see. I want to ask you, man, because you and your brother both have really good work ethic. About the work ethic, can you explain how that came about and what it means to have a good work ethic?
I feel like it just comes naturally in your mindset. You just gotta want it. Cause at first there would be days where I was either lazy, stuff like that. But then I'll remember, say, one bad sparring day, or someone looking at a world champion. Look at anyone, you get motivated because you're like, I need to be better. I need to do what they're not doing. So then you just keep going, and then after a while, it sticks to you. So it's just about that mentality and being disciplined.
Okay.
Who were some of the world champions you got to see while being here at the gym that you remember?
That worked here? Or?
Yeah, that worked out here, or came in to spar, or whatever the case might be.
There's been only I'd say Adrian Broner, stuff like that, but there has been pros where I've sparred a bronze Olympian, all that. So we've sparred pros. We got a lot of experience. There's a lot of people that come in and out of the gyms, but mostly it's just who I'm with and I surround myself around is what helps me, because they know a little bit of something, I'll know, and then we just all add up together, and then at the end of the day, it's like we're just complete.
Right.
What weight class are you gonna fight in?
I want to fight at, I'd say, around 122 to 118 in the pros.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because pros, you got a whole day to replenish, eat up, everything like that, and I feel like that would be a good weight class for me. And then as I grow, just keep going up and up.
And with Julio, I've always said, at least personally to myself, I've said it to others as well, though. Julio's a really good boxer, man. I seen him in Pueblo. I seen him in Pueblo at Nationals, and he fought a guy that had 100+ fights, and he held his own.
Right.
He held his own. It was a very close fight.
Right.
It could have gone either way. and it just shows. It just shows what Julio's made of, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it
yeah.
just runs in the blood because of your dad, but it definitely shows what he's made of. Because how many fights did you have amateur, Julio?
Right now, I only have about 13.
13, and with 13 fights,
Right.
he was competing with the guy 100 plus fights. Imagine that.
Yeah, I can. I've seen him box. Him and his brother, his whole family has a good boxing style. They work good. They have the eye for it. Is what I like to say.
Yeah.
You know, because anybody could get in the ring, but if you don't have the eye to see what's coming before it comes, or the eye to see to pick your shots and not just be throwing shots, then it's almost like you just fall in the category of somebody who just wants to box but doesn't want to learn how to box.
Yeah. I hear you. What would you say is your best quality as a fighter that you can say, hey, this is the thing that I thrive on? Obviously, you want to thrive on everything, right? But what's the main thing that you say, this is my number one quality?
I feel like my movement, I like to just move a lot because I don't like to get hit. And I like to move a lot, catch punches. So that's what I mainly work on. And then other than that, I say my jab too, because I've been working on that ever since I knew that was one of the things that I needed to focus on.
I like your jab. It's very crispy, man. It's
Right.
I was telling my son when they were sparring right now, I was like, you see that jab? That's how you gotta throw the jab.
Right.
He throws it so clean, man. Like,
Yeah.
I like it a lot. So who were some of your favorite fighters coming up?
Right now, coming up, you just got to go, I'd say, Tank, Lomachenko, Bivol. I started liking Canelo more just because I like his fighting style now.
Yeah.
And I'll say those just because there's different aspects. Like Tank, he's just a super smart fighter. But with Lomachenko, I do like his foot movement. And it's like there's some things that I want to pick off of every fighter.
Right.
You could even say like Pitbull, you could see that once he's inside that pocket, he doesn't go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like to pick off things out of everyone. But if I had to pick just one specific fighter right now, it would probably be Tank or
Tank. Nice.
Yeah, Tank.
So I got a question for you. So you said you were fighting between 118 and 122. Are you familiar with that weight class right now?
Yeah, I've been looking at that weight class. It's a lot of, I'd say it's my size and smaller, but so I know around what I would have to do and work on for that because it's mostly just speed. So I just know my movement and come back stronger and faster.
So my question is, what would be your dream fight for that class for you? Who would your dream fight for that class?
I'll say the world champ.
Yeah.
What's his name? I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's from Japan. He just beat the. No,
he's a little.
So his brother is in that weight class now.
Yeah,
his brother is in that weight class now. I think he's like 4th ranked, 3rd ranked. I'll fight all of them.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. I'll fight everyone.
Takuma Inoue. Okay.
Yeah, he's like 4th ranked, something like that. But in reality, whoever comes in my face, I'm gonna fight.
Right.
I'm not gonna back down. You know, especially starting off, I can't pick fighters. I'm not gonna be the big dog in there. I can't just call a shot. So whoever comes in, I'm gonna show them what I'm made of, and I'm gonna show them that I'm the shit.
So other than fighting for obviously fighting for yourself, who's some other people that you keep in mind when you're fighting, or people that you're trying to help in the future once you make something of yourself?
I'll say like mostly everyone's motivation is gonna be family and the friends around them. You know, I say I do want legacy and everything, but obviously I'm there for the money too. You know, I want to be multi-millionaire, not thinking about check to check or nothing like that, or if my mom's gonna be struggling.
Right.
I'm here to make everyone rich with me.
Right.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, you know, I love it when boxers are unselfish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the making of a people's champ.
100%.
Yeah.
And it just makes these interviews a lot more rewarding in the sense, because you're talking to some solid people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not just talking to people that don't care about their families and the people around them, and just care about themselves. They actually care about everyone else around them as well.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man.
And that's like we say in every interview, this is why we call this a life and boxing show, because we know that boxing and life are integral with one another,
Especially for us.
It's a lifestyle, no matter how you look at it, for those who really want to do something with the sport.
Right.
What people don't notice about boxing is they'll look at people fighting or the training, but half of the time that's the easiest part. What's hard is, say, all your friends going out and you're like, I gotta stay in.
Right.
Let me just start watching fights, study. You know, I don't want to because anything happens in this world. You could go outside one day and not come back the next.
Right.
So the hardest part is that, say girls, all that, because especially when you're fighting, you don't want to be messing around because then you get weak off of that.
Right.
You don't want to go out because you could drinking, smoking, all that's just gonna make your progress go to waste.
Absolutely, I agree.
100%.
And because when you box, man, it's definitely a lifestyle, and it's a disciplined lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's not just I box, I do this every day, but you're actually really disciplined. And there's so many different things that you cannot do,
Right.
and so many things that you have to do.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's facts.
So,
that's facts, man. So, who are some of the fighters from back in the day that you want to say, or you can think of that you really enjoyed watching, or they maybe you didn't watch, but back obviously you probably weren't born yet, but like you looked up, and you're like, oh man, I love how this guy fights.
Yeah. Back then, obviously, like as a fighter now, I still am gonna look back into fights like that and study to know what I can pick off of.
Right.
And when I look at that, I'll take stuff like Mike Tyson. Everyone says him, but the things that I look at him isn't necessarily just the power and everything, but it's how he would set it up.
Right.
Like his hook, uppercut, I practice trying to set that up.
Right.
And then say Sugar Ray Leonard, just being fast, in and out, just jabbing, all that. Saying with Muhammad Ali, he would just stay outside and just boom, 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 and break him down, stuff like that.
Right.
And then I'll say in the modern era, obviously Mayweather, he was a smartest. But now also like Manny Pacquiao, he would go in and out fast.
Right.
He was always the smaller fighter, but made himself look like the big fighter.
Right.
And so fighters like that, just people that, they had no fear. They knew what they were capable of. So that's the things that I like to look at, just the mentality. Because there's small fighters that go in and they're like chihuahuas. They don't back down for no. They could be as small as they want, like Manny Pacquiao, but they're gonna go in and they're gonna seem like the big dog.
Yeah, they're fighters.
Well, I believe that has to do with mind state.
Yeah, most definitely. You can't back down just because someone is longer, taller, bigger, any of that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely mind state, because there's a lot of big guys that once they get in there with somebody smaller, they realize, damn, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And then you can see it on their face, like, fuck, what did I get into?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's so true.
So it's definitely a mind state. With whatever, even in life, your mind state determines how you maneuver throughout this planet.
Right. Right. Yeah, 100%. A dream fight that I've been thinking about, that I was wondering what you guys thought. Terrence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather, who would win and why? Give me a little insight on why.
I feel like Mayweather would just take it. I feel like he would know how to not let Crawford get in, and he would just keep that distance.
Yeah, I think that would also be the case. I think that not to take anything away from Crawford, because I've seen him fight almost every fight.
Yeah.
And he knows how to adjust. But the only thing, the difference is for me that those guys that he fought weren't a Floyd and didn't have that really, really good defensive style.
Right.
So I think that's the only problem he would have, is scoring.
And I've always thought, like with Floyd Mayweather, I've always thought that older Floyd, the defensive Floyd, at least personally for me, is way harder to beat than Pretty Boy Floyd, because, I think I've said this before, but Pretty Boy Floyd, he threw a lot of punches. You had somewhat of an opportunity to counter, but with Money Man, man, he's just so freaking skilled, and he knows how to have that ring leadership, and then just also how to set you up. The way he just set you up, it was crazy. Like I think that Floyd Mayweather, he's unbeatable, honestly.
Right.
He really is. Nothing against Crawford, Crawford's currently probably my favorite fighter.
Yeah, and then also Floyd actually he actually fought really good fighters.
Yeah.
A lot of today they fight easy fights.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, I'm not gonna call it easy fights, because everybody that gets in that ring can knock somebody out.
100%. But see, that's the thing with Terrence. Like, I feel like with Top Rank, when he was in Top Rank, I feel like he didn't get the opportunity to fight a lot of the champions, because that's a knock on him. When a lot of people say that, well, he don't have that many world champions beat, compared to Floyd.
He never had the opportunity.
But that's not his fault. Yeah, he's never had that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With that being said, if you had a choice on going with the promoter, like Top Rank, PBC, Matchroom, Golden Boy? Who do you think you'd lean towards, and why?
I feel like Top Rank or PBC because they're just where most fighters go, and I feel like that would just be a better opportunity to get big fights.
Yeah.
When you see like say Golden Boy and like individual like run by one person specifically, and just the name is because of one person, like the Mayweather team, Golden Boy is just Oscar.
Yeah.
You see a lot of like bad rep because you always see there's always going to be something bad, and I feel like with Top Rank, it's more of a if you ask for a fight, you're most likely going to get it, or you're going to get something to set you up for those fights.
Right.
So I feel like those just give you better opportunities to just keep leveling up.
Yeah, and recently, you know, I spoke to Leo. Unfortunately, Terrence, it was so random, but unfortunately Terrence couldn't do the interview with me. I was up in the mountains, and I literally got the Wi-Fi from the hotel. That's how I did the interview.
Right.
I tried to text him, and I couldn't get my text through, and I even hit him on IG, I think. Well, anyway.
Yeah. it just didn't happen, but he did get to do that. I was pleased.
Yeah. That was cool. But anyway, Leo was saying that if he could give advice to someone on who to go to, he said PVC 100% because Al Heyman has taken care of him like nobody else. Yeah. He named his son after Al Heyman.
Is that right?
Yeah, his son's name's Al. And I asked him, I was like, so why'd you name him that? He's like, just Al he changed my life. Like Al literally, you know, changed my whole dynamic, you know? And I'm just like, man, that's cool, man. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And that's what he said.
He takes care of them boxers, man.
Yeah.
He does.
He does, man. That's what he told me though, that he'd advise fighters to have that opportunity. Go to Al Heyman. Go to PBC.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's what he told me, man. That he gives you the most money, and then when if you lose, he don't forget about you. He just doesn't kick you to the curb like all the other promotional companies.
Yeah.
So that's big, man.
That's big news.
You know what I mean?
So you boxers out there, you heard that.
Yep.
Go to Al Heyman. Hey Al, we bigging you up over here, man. Hook us up with an interview or something with all your fighters.
Seriously, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, shout out to Al, man.
Yeah,
I don't know you, but hey, Leo Santa said you do good.
As a matter of fact, Al Heyman, man, was really close with Coach Mike Stafford. Yeah, man.
Oh, nice.
So. Yeah.
What did Mike say about Al?
Oh, he always said good things about Al.
Oh, that's what Leo said. You know, like Leo says, like he's not out there very much, but he's a really good dude. You know.
Yeah, he wouldn't have stayed if he wasn't. Al took care of them pretty good, man.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's dope. So maybe keep that in mind, Julio.
Yeah,
Julio, Al, Julio.
Get something in.
There you go.
Right. So if you do go pro here soon, what date are you looking at?
I'm hoping around September, October, something like that. If I do, I know that's gonna be if I am looking into that, I'm gonna have to step up, get ready to just get the license and do all the stuff I have to proceed to be pro. But
yeah,
that's what I'm training for. Just pro, amateur, doesn't matter, as long as I start getting in.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, man, I appreciate this time with you.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
Well, another question. So obviously your dad's gonna be the coach, right? Your coach.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of the main coaches. You know, he's the main one that knows how to push me, and he knows exactly what I need.
Right.
So I know that right there, him in my corner is gonna be the number one person I trust. Yeah. Just because he is gonna know how to push it, just like any father. You know, you guys are fathers yourselves, so you guys know that. There is other coaches, that will be good, but for your son, what's going to be best for him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Always the dad's going to know the son better than anyone else, you know. And there's a certain way. I mean, and it just depends on how you look at it. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
There's a certain way that, for example, I can talk to my son.
Right.
You know, I could tell him certain things that maybe some other coach can't.
Right.
Because he'll take it the wrong way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes from me, there's a respect factor involved. So it's like, hey, you've been messing up, man, and I'm getting on him. You know, he's gonna say, "That's my dad. I respect my dad, even if I agree or disagree with him. I'm not gonna disrespect him.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. And when there's another coach, when there's a coach from the outside, I mean, a lot of times, those coaches are with them from kids, so they have that respect factor. Yeah. But the ones that are not, I feel like that's when it's a little bit more difficult. True. You know.
And you got to be able to listen to your corner, man. If you can't listen to your corner, you're fighting by yourself without extra eyes on the fight.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think one of the main things is honesty with it. Because you see a lot of coaches nowadays, they'll be like, you're winning, you just keep doing what you're doing. But I know that with my dad in the corner, he's going to tell me straight up, you're losing.
Yep.
You're getting beat up. You're looking dumb.
Yep.
Do this to do better. Step it up.
Right.
And that's what's gonna motivate me. If I'm just hearing, okay, you're doing good, keep doing what you're doing, but I'm losing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna be a whole takeover. So, with
Right.
him telling me that and just being honest, coaches are scared to be honest with them.
Yeah.
Coaches are honestly scared. So, honesty when it comes into the corner is what's always gonna be best because if I'm losing, I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to
right?
know, and if you're not gonna tell me, then what is
What's
it?
the point?
Yeah, and so another thing about like saying having your dad as a coach, and all that is gonna be that trust because you know that your dad's always gonna be there.
Right.
100%.
You see that there's bad blood between fighters sometimes because a fighter would lose, he'll blame his coach.
Oh yeah.
But
Yep.
at the end of the day, your coach is only there to help you. But when you're in that ring, you're by yourself.
That's you versus him.
It's just if that you wanted it, you trained it, and if you listened, did you study enough? And so with that being said, like you'll see fighters fire their coaches, and then they have bad blood just because of a loss or because the coach was being honest. But say with it being my dad, I know there wouldn't be bad blood because like you were being honest.
Yeah.
I can't be mad about it if I didn't do better and step it up.
Right.
That's on me.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Oh, one more thing with that subject. I did see the Shakur fight. I don't know if you've seen the Shakur fight. You did?
Yeah.
And nothing against Shakur. He's a great fighter. But one thing I didn't like, and talking about the fighter with Coach, I just felt like I might be wrong.
No.
I just felt like he didn't respect his grandpa, his coach.
There wasn't no connection. There wasn't no listening. His grandpa talking, and none that Shakur can't fight.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. But it seemed like while his coach was talking, he was talking.
Yeah.
The one thing I was always told when I was young, be slow to speak and quick to listen.
100%.
Because you can't listen while you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're talking while I'm talking, you definitely can't hear the instructions I'm giving you.
Right. Exactly.
And you might as well coach yourself.
Right.
And to piggyback on that too is his coach was just being honest.
He was.
He was saying how the last fight they had robbed the fighter, so who knows if
they
the
do all the
refs.
time.
Yeah, so there's been fights where my dad has told me, he's like, you could see that the refs aren't on our side today.
Yeah.
You need to just show it. You need to stop them or show it that it's you. You cannot make it into a decision.
Right. Yeah.
And that's pretty much what his coach was doing. He was saying, hey, you're losing.
Yeah.
You're losing because if you're not knocking them out or completely showing it out, then you are. It's possible.
Yeah.
There's always that 50-50. You never know what's going to happen in the ring.
Oh, there's been so many bad decisions.
Yeah.
In the
There's been fighters. There's been fighters like you can say when Loma and Haney stuff like that, where they're like, I did enough, this and that. But if you didn't knock out, if you didn't knock them out,
horrible.
But that's the thing. If you didn't knock them out, you didn't do enough.
Yep.
If you're gonna come in, you're not the A side. You're not doing enough. All right, guys, tune in. More interviews to come, more posts to come. Add me on Julio Lanzas. Tune in with his channel, and we'll see you guys soon. Stay tuned.